Streaming without a jumper on today may turn out badly later. Oh well, that's later me's problem. Hello. They were actually going to do some main story, because it's what we got left to do at the moment. Really? Did I, No, I could have, surely it must still be there. Yep, that's all still connected. Weird, whatever. Oh, it doesn't really matter that much. Grab you.
Has Cassandra spoken to you about my new recruits?
They are not your recruits, Commander. They're ours.
Address the Chantry in Valrio. The remaining Chantry clerics have declared the Inquisition heretical. Attempts to gather allies against the breach have been rebuffed, and at this moment we could not step foot in the capital without being attacked by a mob or arrested. We must convince the Chantry to permit us entry into the city so we can show them the Herald of Andraste is not the monster they believe.
Having the Herald address the clerics is not a terrible idea.
You can't be serious.
Mother Giselle isn't wrong. At the moment, the Chantry's only strength is that they are united in opinion.
And we should ignore the danger to the Herald.
Let's ask him.
I'm more concerned this won't actually solve any problems.
I agree. It just lends credence to the idea that we should care what the Chantry says.
I will go with him. Mother Giselle said she could provide us names. Use them.
But why? This is nothing but a...
What choice do we have, Liliana? Right now we can't approach anyone for help with the breach. Use what influence we have to call the clerics together. Once they are ready, we will see this through. The city still mourns.
Just a guest seeker, but I think they all know who we are.
Your skills of observation never fail to impress me, Varric.
My Lord Herald.
You're one of Leliana's people. What have you found?
The Chantry Mothers await you, but so do a great many Templars.
There are Templars here?
People seem to think the Templars will protect them from the Inquisition. They're gathering on the other side of the market. I think that's where the Templars intend to meet you.
Only one thing to do, then. They wish to protect the people? From us?
You think the Order's return to the fold, maybe? To deal with...
Return to Haven. Someone will need to inform them if they are delayed.
As you say, my lady.
So much for being able to respond to that. Thank you very much, game, for fucking bringing the damn thing up like you bloody well should. Piece of fucking shit. Oh. The avenue of her reflective thought, inscribed upon a plaque, Our Lady and the actors of her rise and fall. Her message and visage are worth repeating. Ratharas remorse, beneath, scratched by a vandal, at meeting a low door frame. Ratharas blood guilt, beneath, scratched by a vandal, and its head suddenly weighs too much. Ratharas penance, beneath, scratched by a vandal, and unrelated headache. The avenue of her reflective thought. The avenue is inspirational, but wise travellers do not linger in their respects, not just because the bazaar awaits, because the area before the back-turned statue is treacherous. Local legends has it that the child empress, Aimee, abused the opportunity of religious repose to relieve herself beneath the gaze of Our Lady. Unable to discipline the toddling leader, her attendants instead chastened the statues and had them turned in supposed embarrassment. Sure not, foolish youths dare each other to soil the spot in similar fashion, and a place of otherwise reverent thought always carries a faint odour about it. My first regret, beneath scratched by a vandal, about his unfortunate hair. The Emporium of Mortal Means. A plaque reads, for all matters defence concern. Offence intent and study of the arts martial and, with sanction, magical.
Not open today. Not until this fast is over, at least. Too many swords out.
You'll forgive if events are a little too flustered for commerce. Nothing personal, Inquisition.
Breakfast. Come on, read the damn thing. First line of Orlais. In respect to Emperor Alphonse Almont, the line of Orlais, a repeating element dedicated to the great defenders otherwise noted, it is rumoured that one is gold, one is bronze and weighted with poison, one is chocolate and one is watching. As the saying goes, dare we all a thief to test his back, and learn which is most dangerous to try, deny or lay. In truth, all are leaden leaf. Don't pretend to ride them too long, lest the mind give way. Grace of the Empire North. A notice reads, this display reserved for discourse political with attending professors of social matters from the University of Orlais. Note that all vendors of loftable groceries will be closed in the hour beforehand and for 1 half after. The second line of Orlais, in respect to Duke Isidore d'Arzan. Grace of the Empire West. A notice reads, this display reserved for presentations of affection, as though private and also discounted spirits, presented by Company Misteric Theatre.
Good people of Val Royal, hear me. Together, we mourn our divine. A naive and beautiful heart, silenced by treachery. You wonder what will become of a murderer. Well, wonder no more. Behold, the so-called Herald of Andraste, claiming to rise where our beloved fell. We say this is a false prophet. The Maker would send no elf in our hour of need.
We came here in peace, simply to talk. And this is what you do? I implore you, let us sit down together to deal with the real threat.
It's true. The Inquisition seeks only to end this madness before it is too late.
It is already too late. The Templars have returned to the Chantry. They will face this Inquisition, and the people will be safe once more.
Still yourself. She is beneath us.
What's the meaning of this?
Her claim to authority is an insult, much like your own.
Lord Seeker Lucius, it's imperative that we speak with...
You will not address me.
Lord Seeker?
Creating a heretical movement, raising up a puppet as Andraste's prophet, you should be ashamed. You should all be ashamed. The Templars failed no one when they left the Chantry to purge the mages. You are the ones who have failed. You who'd leash our righteous swords with doubt and fear. If you came to appeal to the Chantry, you are too late. The only destiny here that demands respect is mine.
Templars, one of your own commands the Inquisition's forces. Join us as he did.
A staunch and loyal member of the Order. So loyal, he abandoned them for a false herald.
But Lord Seeker, what if he really was sent by the Maker? What if...
You are called to a higher purpose. Do not question.
I will make the Templar Order a power that stands alone against the Void. We deserve recognition. Independence. You have shown me nothing, and the Inquisition, less than nothing. Templars, Val Royo is unworthy of our protection. We march.
Charming fellow, isn't he?
Has Lord Seeker Lucius gone mad?
Do you know him very well?
He took over the Seekers of Truth 2 years ago, after Lord Seeker Lambert's death. He was always a decent man, never given to ambition and grandstanding. This is very bizarre.
Do you think he can be reasoned with?
I hope so. If not him, there are surely others in the Order who don't feel as he does. Either way, we should first return to Haven and inform the others.
This victory must please you greatly, Seeker Cassandra.
We came here seeking only to speak with the mothers. This is not our doing, but yours.
And you had no part in forcing our hand? Do not delude yourself. Now we have been shown up by our own Templars, in front of everyone. And my fellow clerics have scattered to the wind along with their convictions. Just tell me one thing. Do you truly believe you are the Maker's chosen?
To tell you the truth, I don't know.
That is more comforting than you might imagine. I suppose it is out of our hands now. We shall all see what the Maker plans in the days to come.
You're obviously skeptical. What do you believe I am?
Our divine, Her Holiness is dead. I have seen evidence for everything, except what would comfort me.
That doesn't answer my question.
For you to be true, a great many things must be false. And if you are false, a great many things must have failed. There is chaos ahead, whatever your intentions.
So what happens now? Will the Chantry continue to denounce me?
We have already done so. And what good has it done us? Now it falls on us to select a new divine, if we can. And leave the next step to her.
Provided such a selection is even possible.
I truly don't know. Any revered mother who could have followed Justinia died at the Conclave. What becomes of us, and your Inquisition, is in the Maker's hands now.
Where is the Lord Seeker taking the Templars?
I can't begin to guess the Lord Seeker's mind. He could not have abandoned his intended role more completely.
There must be sense to what we can't see.
Must there? Rebellion seems popular in certain quarters, doesn't it, Seeker? Is crafting the Templars into a new power really any worse than declaring a rival to the Chantry itself?
What were you hoping the Lord Seeker would do exactly?
Put aside his war against the mages and find common purpose against something much more dire. Obviously, he has other plans. With the knights vigilant slain at the Conclave, there is nothing more we can do.
Perhaps there is something we can do.
I'd like to believe that, Seeker. I truly would. I suppose we can expect renewed effort against the mages from him, and yet more chaos.
How many Templars turned on the Chantry exactly?
They rebelled across Thedas. Some remained loyal, but not enough to call them the Order. The White Spire here in the capital was the largest garrison, but now it stands empty. Perhaps more shall flock to the Lord Seeker's banner now. How far has faith waned, I wonder?
How are people responding to all of this?
Despair. Fear. We mourn Her Holiness. The people look to the sky and wonder how long before terror comes for us all. There must be a way through this. Is it you? The Templars? The Maker's will? We abandoned our duties. We servants of the faith. Now we can only pray.
It's not too late. The Chantry could still help us and come out on top.
If only that were true.
What's to stop you from trying?
We are not looking for a winning horse. We are simply trying to do the right thing.
Third line of Orlays, in respect to Duke Yvonne of Savarnia. Savarni, whatever. Priest of the Empire Self. Notice reads, reserved for his strangeness, says sound and his static puppets behind glass.
What's that? An arrow with a message?
Favors for friends. Messages attached written in large flowing hand and bordered with doodles. People say you're special, I want to help, and I can bring everyone. There's a baddie in Valroyo, I really wants to hurt you. Have a search for the red thing in the market, the docks, and round the cafe, and maybe you'll meet him first. Bring swords. Friends are red Jenny. More drawing of the locations in the market is attached. The fourth line of lay. In respect to Duke Stephanie of Valmontirage.
I believe that messenger is trying to get our attention.
Grace of the Empire East. Plaque reads, "Welcome all before the Grace of the Empire stage. An audience for the use of all. The theatre and business for partnership and proposal. He's seen." Notice below reads, "This display reserved for songs traditional by Lord Bramford and his players. Cancelled."
You are the Herald of Andraste, are you not? I have an invitation for you.
Invitation. First Enchanter Vivian. You are cordially invited to attend my salon, held at the chateau of Duke Bastien de Guicheline. Yours, Vivian de Fer, First Enchanter of Monstermead, Enchanter of the Imperial Court. However, I'm really interested in the last two things. For now. Not of heroes, united in hatred. If we are re-examining motive, let us not stop at the sons of the betrayer. For the first leader of young Ole after the sons was Jesheves, Patel, wife of two of them, but examine the facts. Blech. Proud daughter of the Cirician, chosen not unkindly by Izaraf to be his bride, it was her reach that granted him power to unify. Consider what she witnessed in the consolidation of her people. He has always been portrayed with sadness, but what if when our nation was born, the game was born with it? Judge her actions not as property, but as master, and what changes? As victim, Izaraf, rumoured, cruel, breaks the clans in a lust for power. His brother Verald, exiled from his own machinations in young Navarra, appeals to the saddened wife and promises a new path. The brothers, Vi and Verald, wins and then demands the hand of Jesheves, another Ferelden greedy for power. In a decade, the shy victim Jesheves is the figurehead of the people's rebellion against the last son of the betrayer. As master, Count Rivelis far older, she harbours a hatred beyond Tevinter, and while Izaraf is distracted with personal concern or with building a nation to withstand his own people's enemy, he invites the broken brother and sets him against the driven. While accepting marriage to the victor, Jesheves seeds rebellion among those who remember how their lands were taken not a generation before. Both leave her as ruler, as Gaija, but should not the rule of a victim be uncertain? Jesheves rules for 42 years. There were no great swings backward, no people's retribution, for she had become accustomed. If the goals of Izaraf were selfish and the goals of Jesheves were to reverse them, then Orlais is born of the failure of both. But if Izaraf built his father's will, and Jesheves wanted revenge, then we are a nation of two successors, two parents, in opposition but in partnership.
Maker, know my heart. Take from me a life of sorrow. Comfort is only yours to give. Oh, Maker, where is the comfort? Look away. I have broken the chant because it comes from my heart. What have we when our divine is dead and the sky burns?
What do you mean you broke the chant?
Are you also ignorant of the Maker's most basic rites? The chant of light is how we honor the Maker. They are the only words that the faithful should hear from my lips. But I can't. Our divine is dead. Our Templars gone. The Maker's silence is deafening. What hope have we?
We should question. If not now, when?
Down that road is darkness. We have never been alone. We cannot be alone. But even our Templars forsake the light. Even they.
La pomme via el mote. It is said that the apples that grow near the gallows will be bittered on the tongue of a lover who will betray. It is also said, although by different people entirely, that unripened fruit should not be the only consideration when investigating matters of fidelity. The latter are lonely most evenings among the bars of the summer bazaar.
The Chantry has just shown themselves helpless. Who will fetch
Emperor
their
Florian.
Templars back, I wonder?
Grand Duke Florian was not supposed to ascend to the Orlesian throne. His elder brother, Emperor Judicial II, had two twin sons, and thus a very secure line. Florian was free to pursue other interests, none of which revolved around the game. Indeed, the Imperial Court largely ignored him, and that was how he liked it. All that is recorded of that era is that he married, produced a single daughter, and afterwards showed little interest in her. An outbreak of the 100 Days Cough in 877 Blessed changed his plans. Both of Judicial's sons perished, as did Florian's daughter. Wrecked by grief, Judicial lost interest in ruling, turning over all matters pertaining to the rebellion in Ferelden to his advisors, and instead spending his time hunting in the country. When Judicial was thrown from his horse during a fox hunt in 884 Blessed, Florian was suddenly vaulted into the throne. Famously, his response to the Chevaliers delivering the news at his estate is said to be, "This will not do at all." Private and somewhat eccentric man, Florian limited his appearances at court and dealt almost exclusively with members of his own family. He was extremely particular about his habits of dress and grooming, eschewing current fashions for the sake of comfort and refusing to wear cosmetics or powders of any kind due to an intense dislike of being dirty. Powerful and connected nobles who had served in the cabinet since his father's time were turned away in favour of his younger brother, Reynard, his sister, Melisandre, and his cousins. Children were banned from the palace, even the children of servants, with the exceptions of his nephews and nieces, who were tolerated only on the condition that they remain out of the Emperor's sight. Regarding suggestions that Florian and his youngest cousin, Megaren, were lovers, the truth is uncertain. If such a relationship existed, it was no doubt kept private due to Florian's aversion to public life and not from any fear of rumours. Such rumours, after all, were likely spread due to the Emperor's refusal to sire another child and thus secure his line. Many believed the failing would eventually lead to civil war. The only real evidence of a relationship with Megaren is a loud and very public argument the two had prior to Megaren's appointment, or exile as he saw it, to the throne of Ferelden. Megaren is said to have called Florian "my darling," and neither man chose to explain the argument later. The predictions of civil war almost came to pass upon Florian's death in 919 Dragon. With no clear heir, the throne eventually passed to the only daughter of the Grand Duke, Reynard, Celine, after a vicious struggle that threatened to consume the Empire.
Ever since our divine was murdered, toothless old fools are lost without her.
Excuse me, but is what they're saying real? The Inquisition's going to fix the hole in the sky?
I'm going to give it a try, at least.
No one is doing anything. The Chantry is useless, and the Templars... Andraste. I never thought they'd abandon us. Listen, your camp will need food. I have contacts. We'll have deliveries there in days.
You want to help the Inquisition?
Never been part of something this big before, but if your Inquisition's going to seal the sky, I want to help.
What do you think, Cassandra?
I think the woman is asking you and not me.
Well, he is.
The Herald of Andraste. Yes, I understand. Haven is a mess, but we won't turn away anyone willing to help. Invite her, if it pleases you.
Head to Haven, then. We need good people.
I don't know if I'm that, but it will be nice to see. Thank you.
Difficult time for those who have lost. While I understand concerns for property and the general dressing of the bazaar, I must caution that release is needed. We are suffering not just ongoing civil conflict, pitting brother against sister, not just outright war pitting temper against mage, not just the loss of our most holy and best of our leaders, we are suffering all three. As the sky is wounded for all to see, all we know of our world is threatened, along with all we know of the next. In this most grave notation, I ask that the writs of loss and missing remain, that the citizens, however indirectly, be allowed to post their grievances of known dead, and the names of the hopefully living, and with them their circumstances of how they have been told or not told. For while I have no doubt we as Orlesians will maintain our utmost composure, there must be release, there must be grief, there must be mourning. If we do not allow this simple expression, we risk a greater outburst. Let our people shed their tears in as reserved a means as necessary. The market will be cleared in due course, but this day, this time, we must let this simple expression stand.
Maker. There must be something here.
Mirori dalla Mera, Revelli's Folly. Mirori dalla Mera was cut from Valroyo in 849 Blessed. It was the will of the mad Emperor Revelli, who demanded a reflecting pool large enough to draw his vain deceased mother back from across the Vale. Many shops and vendors were evicted to make room for his folly, and several memorials to the heroes of the first four blights were simply toppled. The reservoir supports little in the way of life, as the bottom was lined with lead to increase its reflective properties. Revelli intended it for divination, using boats as massive planchettes, but work was not finished until the week of his own death. The waters see little use today, save for lazy or fornication. Sojourns by the nobility aboard decorative gondolas. Reservoir stocking evaluation. Tremors, floating, taste is off. Water birds die off. Restocking failed. Fish not fit. Do not consume. A red handkerchief folded around a key with a small hasty scrawl. Key lifted from drunk swearing about Harold. Don't know what door. I'm out. My debt is paid. Mm.
Oh, yes.
Open? Yes, as open as I can be. If you've a need for the well-cut or the sparkling, perhaps I can help. At the very least, we can appear like everything is normal. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Only pointless things. Nothing I need or want.
The Templars left us to the mages. Chantry liars.
La pomme via è morte. The apples nearest the calf are said to change their taste depending on whether one is walking toward or away from the gallows. Of course they do, for taste is subject to the whims of the heart. No meal is favoured after tears, but dare it anyway. For none know the taste of joy, such as we who do not shy from experience.
There is a war on, and the Templars just left?
We're keeping order.
Good luck with that guard. The Masika Dulian, cheered with honoured with her might, but many more deserve a thought. Although she was the first knight, her kin and kind have always fought. Different simple script on the back of a stable report, marked with red paint. Thank you, friends, for helping good Lady Kears. Saw those who asked about Harold enter third passage. Could not stay to see them exit. Not of heroes, Mathrath and sacrifice. Andraste, our lady. The sword and the fire against Tevinter, betrayed to the Empire in exchange for a kingdom. Mathrath now synonymous with treachery, but would Andraste have won? And if not, what would we have lost? Let us look not just at the act, but at the why of it. As the armies of faith pierced the Imperial homeland, it was revealed not as a wave, but as an arrow. And as any hunter will attest, your aim is not true, and there is no returning to the bow. We must consider how much of Our Lady's victory to this point was against the true Imperium, and how much was against the echoes of the Empire. Andraste, the inspiration, may not have considered such, but Mathrath the general fought for homeland, not visions. Was it victory or defeat that his betrayal held at bay? Mathrath made the deal that killed Our Lady, that is fact, and when Andraste died, Mathrath was gifted everything from the southern plains south. How generous, and impossible to hold. This must have seemed. Let us look on Mathrath and the legacy he divided among his sons, not with an eye for accusation, but from a tactical consideration. For he must have known that mere rivals had never stopped Tevinter. What have they said about creating peers, and none of this was accident? How then fared Israf, Everion, and Verold? Head of Madame Snaffy Snips, mascot of Le Masque de Leon, named in jest but generally respected. The Grand Mam, as she is also called, was the last dragon brought down by Sir Keonig, the previous owner of the calf. The spirited hunter, Keonig came of age in the years following the sightings that named the era. While others were quick to assume the tales of ancient Navarian dragon hunters must have been exaggerated, he tracked the gradual increase in dragon numbers and size. Koenig believed we had yet to see a true return of the beasts of legend, and that the specimens of his day were young despite their ferocity. It is a crucial victory, but today we know Sir Koenig to have been correct, even as he may have fallen to his own expertise. He was years overdue from his last hunt, and for the rest of us, travel-weary, what we thought to be the pinnacle of dragon strength may have been closer to adolescence. The sisters of Madame Snappy Snips may have left their siblings far behind. Really no cooldown? Okay.
We maintain an Inquisition presence on Commander Cullen's orders. This has been received as you might expect.
The summer home of Messer Glubs. A seasonal home for the childhood pet of the twin sons of Empress Yvette. The nature of Monsieur Grubbs remains unknown, save that he was a gift from a Ravani ambassador, and he was eventually released to the sea after taking the hand of a sluggish page. The Lover's Alcove. Every district has one, at least one, and the question must be, why is a place meant for dalliance declared in such an obvious way? And the answer, of course, is that obviousness is the entry to the entirety of the point. Blech. When manners and station will not allow impassioned words, such corners are places to be seen, not being seen. Entering with a paramour is as much a declaration as singing out in joy, which one of good standing must never do. The alcove is thus a dignified means of announcing romantic affiliation, either for genuine partnership, or to appear as such in order to spare a suitor a refusal. Dignity, of course, requiring that one does not also make use of the darkness for actual physical gratification. This has, of course, never occurred.
Though they sang hymns of praise unending, though they could do anything.
Not of heroes, the death of diversity. What could hold back an empire? Another. What could hold back so defined a people as Tevinter? Another. Let us consider if eldest Isarath was not meant to honour Mathrath, for the father's fate was already condemned, but by hidden betrayal. Let us consider that Isarath was told to turn from ties to Mathrath, to look forward, not back. What of his actions then? Isarath was granted a land of tribes with scattered alliance. His answer was the grand unification, which most condemn as arrogance. Sweeping changes in trade, relocations to break local allegiances, all to favour centralised trade and power. Cities were levelled to expand a new capital, a powerful and influential city of a new nation, Valrio, and all in the name of not lost Andraste, but of holding back looming Tevinter. Power was united, but cultures less so. Investing everyone in the New Orleans stratified the classes, and though it all spread a bitterness that a Ferellian ruled, Isarath avoided the stain of his father. He was seen as victim too, but he was still Almari. What if, dear readers, The final unifying element came not from accident or even the deliberate actions of Izarath, but from a common hatred, and not the common hatred of the day. The sons of Mathrath would succeed at creating a peer for Tevinter, but only at the cost of themselves.
They destroyed nothing, created nothing, loved nothing.
Her Majesty's convenience. For Her Majesty's convenience, wooden vines defy the very sun and rain.
What? Yes, I'm sorry. Minding the duties of the ailing mother, Havara. I am rather overwhelmed. Forgive me. I am unsure whether I meant to extend chantry services to you, and that troubles me greatly.
No one can tear asunder.
Victory in Shade. Here grows one of many strange trophies returned from the liberation of Kirkwall in 760 Storm. When brave Orlesian forces turned back the unstoppable Kunari, a cunning salvage from a burning dreadnought was presented to Emperor Cyril, and it was tended to full growth by the cheerful hands of Valreo's master landscapers.
You heard? Maybe.
Doing all the fucking law in this paper, aren't I? Okay, here are all the schematics. Be useful if they didn't cost so fucking much.
These truths the Maker has revealed to me, as there is but one world, one life, one death, there is but... one God, and He is our Maker.
They left us. The Templars left us to the mages.
I don't know.
They left us. The Templars left us to the mages.
Same old.
got a codex entry as well. Weird.
Make a smile upon you.
Oh, right, those things are, That's right. Scrap of parchment is hastily torn from an ornate document, stuffed into its hiding space with a large red sock. And we are here, and we are to obey well. We meet at 3 bells to discuss how best to serve the new way. Scroll below is a misspelled script. Herald, go at time, praise and stay. Taken together, the messages reveal a time, path, and a key to a location on the world map. There. Season of the War Afoul. At this window, the thief, Treadwell, did witness the attempted assault of Lady Christine. He surrendered his chance for escape to catch and hold her assailant, the beard of Lord Helvine. Hero thief, foiled bard, and conspiring noble were all censured. As per their station and relevant action, lashing and labour disappeared and ostracized from the social season, respectively. The scandal played out far longer in the theatrical serialized adaptation, which reimagined the 3 as siblings separated at birth, competing for Lady Christina's hand at her orchestration. The conclusion was relatively accurate to the original event, save the punishment of the thief and noble being swapped to comic effect. Generally, good reviews received, though some thought the height of the lady's hair to be unrealistic. Right. Not for heroes, division and distance. For a supposed creature of jealousy and greed, Mathrath is less so indeed. For while his word brought low the bride of the Maker, his prize was quickly divided and distanced. Let us consider the lesser of the sons in this matter. Of everyone we know little. The middle boy, he was tasked with ruling the lands to be the marshes. No claim by the father was made. No. In my name, too humble. And that freedom is shown in the result. For everyone himself was the least concerned with power. He among all led by example, not demand, and spoke only of sacrifice. When betrayal was revealed, everyone acts as a man broken, dispersing his holdings to the various tribes. It was a penance that spared him his family, but it also dispersed influence. To this day the free marches are scattered. Of Verald more is known, for his actions bring him to the start of our nation, but his folly begins in Navarra, where we must ask, what was this? Where we must ask, was this the will of a betrayer father, or a mistake of youth? Mathrath gave rule to the youngest Verald, and never claimed Navarra. Never did he sit on the throne, and he is thought to have rarely visited. But his name is hated there most of all, for it was bartered for legacy by the son. Like everyone, Verald spoke not as example but to claim. Never his name was mentioned without that of his mother and father. His claims were bold, their actions were his, and their thoughts all shared. But from his father on this throne in Ferelden, no word is recorded, and we wonder, was it deliberate? For when the betrayal was revealed, all with ties to Mathrath were vilified, and so strong were the ties that Velrat had drawn, that his court was killed to a man, and he was forced to flee. but he kept silent, as seems the will of the knowing father, and had he straddled as the father who guided the older Isra, then Verard might have remained to rule. But that would require that the betrayer not be as he is drawn, and it would have kept Velrad in Navarra, and it would have kept Velrad from Orlais, and it would have prevented the further betrayal that truly birthed Orlais. So much law. Randy Dowager Quarterly, an unread quarterly missive of suspect virtue. Randy Dowager ignites winter passions with the collected conscripted by love. Being a tale of heroes come legends, the Grey Wardens and their shining duty to claim those of promise who must suit their joining. The Randy Dowager exhibitions for the noble of thought, but spry of step. Lady herself says, always a classic when wardens come calling, or dare one suggest the reverse. All scarce fluttered in shock out of 5. Fast travel here. Pillars of her everlasting flame. Pillars of her everlasting flame ignited 530 exalted, capped 562 exalted. Forgive them their petty nature, but the soot of your eternal flames blacken their skies. Waiting alcove, ever empty in anticipation of artistic endeavour, worthy of the envy and insidious jealousy of the capital and a glorious emperor. 848 blessed. Scratched below the inscription, mad shit, empty as his head.
Ah, the Herald of Andraste. Is there something I might help you with?
No, thank you, sister.
Make her go with you.
Right. The Randy Dowager Quarterly. Randy Dowager welcomes the new year by scandalizing the old, with the collected romantic epic, The Horned Ones. Being a tale of conquest both of nation and of heart, demands are satisfied as bronze giants share their explosive passions. The Randy Dowager exhibitions from the noble of thought, but spry of step. The lady herself says, only for those of particular taste, delicate buds should remain in the garden while the bowl of us flower. 5 scars fluttered in shock out of 5. That's fine. Yes. Mystery box. $10,000. The folly of General Not Chartain. 3, but during times of crisis. 3, but during times of crisis there can emerge abilities we do not know we possess. A servant, under the greatest duress, stood as Not Chartain. She stood and she spoke, she stood and she lied, she stood and she attacked, and under banners they knew and a voice they did not. The forces of Orlais brought low their enemy. Now, perhaps the servant was more lieutenant than page to her battle-hardened lord, and perhaps the strength of the foe is stressed too much in retellings, and perhaps the allied were well practiced in their roles. But none question that Not Chartain was at the least adequate and at the most inspirational.
Is this a shop?
I maintain a premises wherein customers of a certain affluence entertain the purchase of my ware. So yes, shop.
Don't you mean wares?
No, I mean ware. I have one item available for purchase. It is far too expensive for it merely to be sold. You may gaze upon it and dream of the wealth required to possess it, as have lords and kings. And then you may leave and purchase things from shops more aligned with your station.
How do you keep the doors open on a shop with one item?
My shop is a destination. Luminaries of every description journey here to see what is denied to them. Some pay tribute, in the vain hope I will barter. They do not have the will to pay the price. They require a bargain to justify the spend, to ease their conscience. That would defeat the entirety of the purpose.
I can't see it. Tell me what it is.
If you have to ask, you are not the one to buy it.
I need to know if I can use it.
And again, the point is missed. If mere use is your concern, you should go elsewhere. The person who claims this will not be known for using it. They will be known because they paid for it.
So you sell one very expensive item. And it's worth it?
Let me now interrupt the inevitable defense of your thrift. I'm sure you have treasures, and you will have many more. You could parade them from here to Halam Shiral, but none of that would allow you to say you have purchased this. The item is irrelevant. The price is worth it.
I don't see why this is special. Anyone can overprice something.
To overprice an item, the must have a known value already. It is then priced over what it is worth. This has only the value I have set. It has never had another. It is not overpriced. It is priced.
Well, goodbye then.
Yes. Purchased? What becomes of Darabon?
It's true.
Yes, thank you.
Longing in the upper court, torn page for an unsigned diary. My weakness bides me not by chance to gaze upon the upper court, where shadow of our final dance and wish of my heart consort.
There is but one God, and he is our
Okay. Kind of that's everything.
If I might have a moment of your time.
Grand Enchanter Fiona?
Leader of the Mage Rebellion. Is it not dangerous for you to be here?
I heard of this gathering, and I wanted to see the fabled Herald of Andraste with my own eyes. If it's help with the breach you seek, perhaps my people are the wiser option.
I'm surprised the leader of the mages wasn't at the conclave.
Yes. You were supposed to be, and yet somehow you avoided death.
As did the Lord Seeker, you'll note. Both of us sent negotiators in our stead in case it was a trap. I won't pretend I'm not glad to live. I lost many dear friends that day. It disgusts me to think the Templars will get away with it. I'm hoping you won't let them.
So you think the Templars are responsible?
Why wouldn't she?
Lucius hardly seems broken up over his losses, if he's concerned about them at all. You heard him. You think he wouldn't happily kill the Divine to turn people against us? So yes, I think he did it. More than I think you did it, at any rate.
The mages weren't willing to talk to the Inquisition before. Why now?
Because now I've seen what you are. And I've seen the Chantry for what it is. Consider this an invitation to Redcliffe. Come, meet with the mages. An alliance could help us both, after all. I hope to see you there. Au revoir, my Lord Herald.
Come, let us return to Haven. Return to Haven. Make her take you!
Herald of Andraste, how much did you expend to discover me? It must have weakened the Inquisition immeasurably.
I don't know who you are.
You don't fool me. I'm too important for this to be an accident. My efforts will survive in victories against you elsewhere.
Just say what?
What is that?
Ugh. Squishy one, but you heard me, right? Just say what? Rich tits always try for more than they deserve.
Blah, blah, blah. Obey me. Arrow in my face. So, you followed the notes well enough.
Glad to see you're... And you're an elf. Well, hope you're not too elfy. I mean, it's all good, isn't it? The important thing is you glow. You're the herald thingy.
Some believe I'm the Herald of Andraste. But who are you, and what's this about?
No idea. I don't know this idiot from Manners. My people just said the Inquisition should look at him.
Your people? Elves?
No. People. Name's Sarah. This is cover. Get round it. For the reinforcements. Don't worry. Someone tipped me their equipment shed. They've got no breaches. Friends really came through with that tip. No breaches. So, Herald of Andraste. You're a strange one. I'd like to join.
How about we get to know each other first? You know, names and such.
One name. No, wait, two. Well, it's like this. I sent you a note to look for hidden stuff by my friends. The Friends of Red Jenny. That's me. Well, I'm one. So is a fence in Montfort, some woman in Kirkwall. There were 3 in Starkhaven, brothers or something. It's just a name, yeah? It lets little people, friends, be part of something while they stick it to nobles they hate. So here, in your face, I'm Sarah. The Friends of Red Jenny are sort of out there. I use them to help you. Plus arrows.
The Inquisition has spies already. Can you add to these professionals?
Here's how it is. You important people are up here, shoving your cods around. Blah, blah, I'll crush you. Ooh, crush you. Then you've got cloaks and spy kings, like this tit. Or was he one of the little knives, all serious with his little knife? All those secrets, and what gave him up? Some houseboy who don't know shite, but knows a bad person when he sees one. So no, I'm not knifey shiv dark, all hidden. But if you don't listen down here too, you risk your breeches. Like those guards, I stole their... Look, do you need people or not? I want to get everything back to normal. Like you.
So who are your Friends of Red Jenny? You must know them.
It's not hard to understand if you're not trying to waste your day on it. Someone little always hates someone big. And unless you don't eat, sleep, or piss, you're never far from someone little. Doesn't always work out, but a lot of people hated this guy. Someone got a laugh, someone got even, someone got paid. And someone has to have explained to them that free help is good.
Back there you wanted to know if I glowed. Why?
That's what you do, innit? You walked out of somewhere, and now you glow. Andraste's herald. True or not, it seemed like the easiest way to know it was you.
True or not?
Well, that's what they say and all. Look, don't get ahead, yeah? I want to help this... whatever it is. Inquisition.
All right, Sarah. I can use you and your friends.
Yes! Getting good before you're too big to like. That'll keep your breeches where they should be. Plus extra breeches because I have all these... You have merchants who buy that piss, yeah? Got to be worth something. Anyway, Haven. See you there, Herald. This will be grand.
Speeches all over the place. Mm-hmm. Vivian as well.
Master Lavellen, on behalf of the Inquisition.
A pleasure, sir. We so rarely have a chance to meet anyone new. It is always the same crowd at these parties. So you must be a guest of Madame de Fer, or are you here for Duc Bastien?
Are you here on business? I have heard the most curious tales of you. I cannot imagine half of them are true.
What have you heard about me?
Some say that when the veil opened, Andraste herself delivered you from the Fade.
I'm not familiar with that name. I was invited here by First Enchanter Vivienne.
Madame de Fer is a fond nickname the court has given Lady Vivienne.
I've heard she finds it amusing.
I've heard very little about Duc Bastien.
He hasn't been seen much at court lately.
His business with the Council of Heralds often takes him from home for long periods. It can't be good for a man of his years.
And of course, there's the Civil War. Bastien probably wishes to distance himself from the actions of his one-time son-in-law.
Tearing up the Dales in a foolish bid for power? It will end in disgrace for Gaspard. Everyone knows it.
Some of those storytellers may have gotten carried away.
But only for the best effect. The Inquisition is a ripe subject for wild tales.
The Inquisition. What a lot of pig shit. Washed up sisters and crazed seekers. No one can take them seriously. Everyone knows it's just an excuse for a bunch of political outcasts to grab power.
The Inquisition is working to restore peace and order to Thedas.
Here comes the outsider, restoring peace with an army. We know what your Inquisition truly is. If you were a man of honor, you'd step outside and answer the charges.
My dear Marquis, how unkind of you to use such language in my house to my guests. You know such rudeness is intolerable.
Madame Vivienne, I humbly beg your pardon.
You should. Whatever am I going to do with you, my dear? My lord, you're the wounded party in this unfortunate affair. What would you have me do with this foolish, foolish man?
I think the Marquis has seen the error of his ways.
By the grace of Andraste, you have your life, my dear. Do be more careful with it. I'm delighted you could attend this little gathering. I've so wanted to meet you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Vivienne, first Enchanter of Montsimard and Enchantress to the Imperial Court.
Is that Marquis going to pose a problem?
His aunt is the Vicomtesse of Mont de Glace. Not a powerful family, but well respected. And very devout. Alphonse will be disowned for this. It's not the first time he's brought his aunt disgrace, but I'm sure it'll be the last. And after such a public humiliation, I expect he'll run off to the Dales to join the Empress's war effort. either to make a good end or to win back a modicum of self-respect.
Your salon has certainly exceeded my expectations so far.
I'm glad to keep you entertained, my dear. I wanted to meet face to face. It is important to consider one's connections carefully. With Divine Justinia dead, the Chantry is in shambles. Only the Inquisition might restore sanity and order to our frightened people. As the leader of the last loyal mages of Thedas, I feel it only right that I lend my assistance to your cause.
You say you led the last of the loyal mages. Loyal to whom?
To the people of Thedas, of course. We have not forgotten the commandment, as some have, that magic exists to serve man. I support any effort to restore such order.
So you're in favor of returning the mages to the Circle, then?
Where else can mages safely learn to master their talents? We need an institution to protect and nurture magic. Maker knows, magic will find neither on its own.
What's in this for you?
The same thing anyone gets by fighting this chaos. The chance to meet my enemy, to decide my fate. I won't wait quietly for destruction.
Are you devout? What's your opinion of the Chantry?
I was a great admirer of the late Divine Justinia V. The Chantry, at its best, unites the disparate cultures of Thedas and looks after its most vulnerable. Had she lived, Justinia could have accomplished so much.
What exactly can you do for the Inquisition?
I am well versed in the politics of the Orlesian Empire. I know every member of the Imperial Court personally. I have all the resources remaining to the Circle at my disposal. And I'm a mage of no small talent. Will that do?
The Inquisition will be happy to have you, Lady Vivienne.
Great things are beginning, my dear. I can promise you that.
And let's move in the party. Right, I even know. Thank you. Ooh, that was odd.
Stay safe out there. It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
You heard?
My agents in the city sent word ahead, of course.
It's a shame the Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
At least we know how to approach the mages and Templars now.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the Order somewhere, but to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the mages in Redcliffe instead.
You think the Mage Rebellion is more united? It could be 10 times worse.
Or you could stop bickering and make a decision.
I agree.
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
So it'll be dangerous. I've been in danger since I walked out of the Fade.
If some among the rebel mages were responsible for what happened at the Conclave...
The same could be said about the Templars.
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough influence to approach the Order safely.
Then the Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options. There is one other matter. Several months ago, the Grey Wardens of Ferelden vanished. I sent word to those in Orlais, but they have also disappeared. Ordinarily, I wouldn't even consider the idea they're involved in all this, but the timing is curious.
That does sound odd, I agree.
The others have disregarded my suspicion, but I cannot ignore it. 2 days ago, my agents in the hinterlands heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Blackwall. If you have the opportunity, please seek him out. Perhaps he can put my mind at ease.
And if he can't?
Then there may be more going on than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time getting anyone to talk to me.
What's the message?
We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the Storm Coast. My company commander, Iron Bull, offers the information free of charge. If you'd like to see what the Bull's chargers can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.
What can your Bull's Chargers offer the Inquisition?
We're loyal, we're tough, and we don't break contracts. Ask around Val Royeaux. We've got references.
What should I know about your commander?
Iron Bull. He's one of those Kunari, the big guys with the horns. He leads from the front. He pays well, and he's a lot smarter than the last bastard I worked for. Best of all, he's professional. We accept contracts with whoever makes the first real offer. You're the first time he's gone out of his way to pick a side.
Why did your commander send us this information?
Iron Bull wants to work for the Inquisition. He thinks you're doing good work.
I look forward to meeting this Iron Bull.
We're the best you'll find. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
Mm-hmm. Right. Anything else around the map? Nope.
Passioned breath does the darkness creep. It is the thank you for all of my doing to rely upon your
Why do I keep fucking going there fast? Oh no, my connection's lost. Before there, the Imperial Court. The letter addressed to Vivian lies opened on the table. A note has been added to the top which reads, Josephine, darling, you should take care of this, V. My dearest Vivian, you cannot have heard the shocking allegations against the Inquisition, or surely you would never have been seen with them. Allow me as a friend to open your eyes. People are saying that Divine Justinia is indeed alive, but that the Inquisition, her closest advisors and most trusted servants, have orchestrated all this chaos on her orders. That it was Seeker Pentagast and Sister Nightingale who sabotaged the Conclave in order to eliminate opposition within the Chantry and cut off the heads of the Major Rebellion and Templars in a single stroke. To save your own reputation, you must escape this acquaintance immediately. Where Tipos concern, Vacamontes, El Dui de Mure.
Let us begin.
Josephine herself. Chantry remain. Confrontation with Mother Havara in Val Royeaux Market. She knows. Had the desired effect. To a point, the Chantry's condemnation of the Inquisition was lost amid a flurry of speculation over the actions of Lord Seeker Lucius, as well as a divide in the opinions of the remaining Chantry clerics. There are, however, clerics still loudly denouncing the Herald of Andraste. The Inquisition could leave them to their speeches, but dealing with them before the Chantry elects a new divine could be a benefit.
Let's see what we have.
The Cult of Andraste. Before the Fifth Blight and the arrival of the hero of Ferelden, Haven was occupied by cultists who worshipped a dragon, one they believed to be Andraste reborn. Both the cultists and their dragon were long gone by the time the Chantry arrived to build the Temple of Sacred Ashes. But there may still be undiscovered passages in the mountains containing their relics. With a concentrated search effort, it might be possible to unearth something useful to the Inquisition.
To work?
God, I'm so glad this still frickin' works. Ambassador, I very much enjoyed your soiree, and I hope to see you at the summer cottage for our picnic luncheon next month. Do not fret about the ghastly things said about your associates. All reasoned heads will prevail, and this foolish gossip will come to nothing. Yours, Duke Cyril. It is done. I needed only a few examples. Clerics who both spoke against the Inquisition and had unsavory secrets. They were desperate to keep hidden. One even attempted to kill the agent who spoke to her, and the agent was forced to kill her in self-defense. That went further than I would have liked, and may stiffen the Chantry's resolve to oppose us in the long run. But for now, they are cowed and can be counted our political allies. It's incredible how many passages remained undiscovered even after the Chantry arrival. They scoured every inch of these mountains for years in search of anything related to the Sacred Ashes. The cult didn't build all of this. It was here long before, and who knows how many years it would have taken to find it all. Of the new passages uncovered during the search, most were long empty or contained goods far beyond salvage. Few, however, yielded some artifacts of interest, and one evidently contains strange runes we have yet to translate. If you can find someone capable of doing so, they might prove useful. Used what's the face for that? Oh well. The runes discovered in the mountain passage during the recent search are of a type never seen before, neither to Vinter nor Elven, perhaps dating back to the time of Andraste herself. There are a few who might be able to translate the script, and the benefit of doing so is unknown.
Let us begin.
Don't know how someone would come to this idea, but I can see the use. There's a large area to search, however. A memo from Josephine written on a note from Sarah. Know what ruins a party? Bees. I know a man who teaches how to jar them safe, but angry. Stingy, no good for honey, but great for throwing. He's somewhere south. Sarah scribbled a jar of bees hitting someone in the face. Also a butt.
what we have.
Our researcher is fascinated by the lure fashioned from the golden nug. Some believes that her knowledge of the involved species combined with the elimination of the apex predators can result in an opportunity to flush out something bigger, something that will truly inspire on the field. It is certainly worth investigating.
All right.
Okay. 1 hour 23, okay. I really wish I had my notes on all these. Every single one of them with every single frigging possibility for the best. That was a long time ago though. Interestingly, the runes are Almari in origin, belonging to the tribe that inhabited Ferelden almost 1,000 years ago. What is of greater interest, however, is that none of the runes translate intelligibly, meaning it is all in code. According to the translators, a reference to the Guardian also indicates an island off the north coast. Most curious, I will continue translation efforts in the hopes we can narrow this down further. Inquisitor, our people have flushed out something big and stubborn. You were seeking a mountain that spoke to the tenacity of the Inquisition, and this, frankly, I'm not sure what this says, but it is definitely a mount, and it's definitely tenacious. I'm not sure what to say, except that the stables now have a new resident. To echo the report for our people, that is one big nug. We've received weapon plans and located an apiary to supply us. When the idea was presented, the beekeeper tended his fingers and sneered. Of course. Quite disturbing. Bee bomb. The Almari runes found in the mountain passages outside Haven have finally given up more of their secrets, pointing to one of the larger islands off the northern coast of Ferelden. The island is quite large and covered in dense wilderness, so searching it will be an involved process. According to the runes, however, there should be some connection to the original disciples of Andraste and the Guardian of the Sacred Ashes.
Let's see what we have.
Fast forward 4 hours. Being stupid. God, it's already 6:30 in the afternoon. We found what we were looking for, an ancient vault all but buried in the thick vegetation at the heart of the island, no doubt untouched for over 1,000 years. The effort to open the vault without setting off traps was considerable, and what we found within was interesting. According to an agent named Rion, this was the retreat of one of the last of Andraste's disciples, Guardian, who fled some manner of attack on the site of the Sacred Ashes. He expected reinforcements by another disciple who never arrived. Whatever texts the man thought to preserve have mostly crumbled, but we recovered a number of other artifacts from the site. It is a significant find that will undoubtedly prove of great interest to Chantry scholars, even if it will take them years to sort through all the debris. Right. Boop. That's the table done for now. Time to go back in time.
we have.
Doesn't really matter. Although Solus is probably stronger at the moment due to his staff.
Charger! Stand down! Krim! How'd we do?
5 or 6 wounded, Chief. No dead.
That's what I like to hear. Let the throat cutters finish up, then break out the casks. So, you're with the Inquisition, huh? Glad you could make it. Come on, have a seat. Drinks are coming. Iron Bull, I presume. Yeah, the horns usually give it away. I assume you remember Cremisius Aclassi, my lieutenant.
Good to see you again. Throat cutters are done, Chief.
Already? Have them check again. I don't want any of those Tevinter bastards getting away. No offense, Krem.
None taken. At least a bastard knows who his mother was. Puts him one up on you Canary, right?
So, you've seen us fight. We're expensive, but we're worth it. And I'm sure the Inquisition can afford us. How much is this going to cost me, exactly? Wouldn't cost you anything personally. Unless you want to buy drinks later. Your ambassador, what's her name? Josephine. We'd go through her and get the payments set up. Gold will take care of itself. Don't worry about that. All that matters is we're worth it. The Chargers seem like an excellent company. They are, but you're not just getting the boys. You're getting me. You need a frontline bodyguard. I'm your man. Whatever it is. Demons? Dragons? The bigger the better. And there's one other thing. Might be useful. Might piss you off. Ever hear of the Ben Hasra? They're a Canary organization, right? The equivalent of their guards and City Watch. I'd go closer to spies. But yeah, that's them. Or, well, us. The Ben Hasrath are concerned about the breach. Magic out of control like that could cause trouble everywhere. I've been ordered to join the Inquisition, get close to the people in charge, and send reports on what's happening. But I also get reports from Ben Hasrath agents all over Orlais. You sign me on, I'll share them with your people. You're a Canary spy, and you just told me? Whatever happened at that Conclave thing, it's bad. Someone needs to get that breach closed. So whatever I am, I'm on your side.
You still could have hidden what you are.
From something called the Inquisition. I'd have been tipped sooner or later. Better you hear it right up front from me.
What would you send home in these reports of yours?
Enough to keep my superiors happy. Nothing that'll compromise your operations. The Qunari want to know if they need to launch an invasion to stop the whole damn world from falling apart. You let me send word of what you're doing, it'll put some minds at ease. That's good for everyone.
What's in these Ben Hasrath reports you're offering to share?
Enemy movements, suspicious activity, intriguing gossip. It's a bit of everything. Alone they're not much, but if your spy master is worth a damn, she'll put him to good use.
She?
I did a little research. Plus, I've always had a weakness for redheads.
All right, you're in.
Excellent. Krem, tell the men to finish drinking on the road. The Chargers just got hired.
What about the casks, Chief? We just opened them up with axes.
Find some way to seal them. You're Tervinter, right? Try blood magic. We'll meet you back at Haven.
Nice to see you meeting me back at Bloodhaven. Haven. Ugh. Oh yeah. Really? Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Here's a loot. Right. And the hinterland. Was as if I did everything earlier on for a reason.
Of news, sir.
Ah yes, in Hush Whispers. Try this first, shall we?
Remember how to carry your shields. You're not hiding, you're holding. Otherwise, it's useless.
Blackwall. Warden Blackwall.
You're not... How do you know my name? Who said... Ah! That's it. Help or get out. We're dealing with these idiots first. Conscripts, here they come! Sorry, bastards. Good work, conscripts. Even if this shouldn't have happened, they could have... Well, thieves are made, not born. Take back what they stole. Go back to your families. You saved yourselves. You're no farmer. Why do you know my name? Who are you?
I know your name because I'm an agent of the Inquisition. I'm investigating whether the disappearance of Wardens has anything to do with the murder of the Divine.
Maker's balls. The Wardens and the Divine. That can't... No, you're asking so you don't really know. First off, I didn't know they disappeared. But we do that, right? No more blight, job done. Wardens are the first thing forgotten. But one thing I'll tell you, no Warden killed the Divine. Our purpose isn't political.
I'm not here to accuse, not yet. I just need information. I've only found you. Where are the rest?
I haven't seen any Wardens for months. I travel alone, recruiting. Not much interest because the Archdemon is a decade dead, and no need to conscript because there's no blight coming. Treaties give Wardens the right to take what we need, who we need. These idiots forced this fight, so I conscripted their victims. They had to do what I said, so I told them to stand. Next time, they won't need me. Grey Wardens can inspire, make you better than you think you are.
I wasn't aware Grey Wardens could take whatever they want.
It's complicated. If there's a blight, everyone has to help the effort to fight it. The treaties are ancient. Outside of blights, it's as binding as a clever tongue can make it.
Do you have any idea where the other Wardens could have gone?
Maybe they returned to our stronghold at Weishaupt. That's in the Anderfels, a long way north. I don't really know. Can't imagine why they'd all disappear at once, let alone where they'd disappear to.
Why haven't you gone missing like the rest of them?
Well, maybe I was going to. Or maybe there's a new directive but a runner got lost or something. My job was to recruit on my own. Plan to stay that way for months. Years.
It's been a pleasure, Warden Blackwall, but this didn't help at all.
Inquisition. Agent, did you say? Hold a moment. The Divine is dead and the sky is torn. Events like these, thinking we're absent is almost as bad as thinking we're involved. If you're trying to put things right, maybe you need a Warden. Maybe you need me.
The Inquisition needs all the support it can get. But what can one Grey Warden do?
Save the fucking world if pressed. Look, maybe fighting demons from the sky isn't something I'm practiced at. But show me someone who is. And like I said, there are treaties. Maybe this isn't a blight, but it's bloody well a disaster. Some will honor them. Being a Warden means something to a lot of people.
Warden Blackwall, the Inquisition accepts your offer.
Good to hear. We both need to know what's going on. And perhaps I've been keeping to myself for too long. This Warden walks with the Inquisition.
Ceremonies once they get a level up. Great. And I got another table mission, which is, yes, this side of perfect. Freeze again. Ugh.
Creator, see me kneel, for I walk only where you would bid me.
Have you seen Enchanter Vivienne? When there was no sky maker, you were the sky.
More healing drafts.
When there was no earth.
But
I will inform you if that changes.
Inquisition is in its infancy. Building an organization such as this is like building an army. You need soldiers, weapons to arm them, food to feed them, and that's just the beginning. I joined knowing I could make a difference. I have Grey Warden treaties, and these allow us to take what's needed, when needed. We do not face a blight, but surely a torn sky warrants such a concern. Consider it, Warden Blackwell.
At your service.
Since only Josephine can actually use it. Part of a Beni Hassarath report. Nothing noting the current fight for succession in the Heights, which has been without a direct ruler since Duke Remark died early in the Orlesian Civil War. Duchy will go to one of 3 members of the dead Duke's family, all of whom have possible claims to the position due to the complex nature of Orlesian politics. Cousin Carlin, already a duchess by marriage, his daughter Monet, whose claim is muddled by her youthful naivety and the fact that her father pushed her into a life of service to the Chantry after his wife's death, likely to protect her from the dangers of the game, and his brother, Jean Gaspard, an ambitious and cunning man who has been searching for power. Carelia is capable and not overly invested in overseeing lives personally, and they would be the most easily manipulated but less likely to be useful. Jean Gaspard would be difficult to manipulate and could present a threat if he succeeds his brother. Any of the 3 candidates could become a valuable ally to the Inquisition, but the other 2 must be removed from play first.
To work?
I know. Do-do-do. I really wish I still had my notes for all things. Oh well. I was correct. Spreading word that the Inquisition was allied with the Grey Wardens meant messages of support poured in. With the treaties in hand, we managed to secure new recruits and donations of both gold and equipment. The commander will make good use of them, Josephine. Gold. Commander Cullen, it would be an honor to serve the Inquisition and prove the mettle of all Legion Chevaliers by doing the Maker's work. I accept your generous offer wholeheartedly, and will arrive in good time with those men loyal to me. It will be my privilege to order the Inquisition's troops into a holy battle against those who would threaten the order of the Empire. In the Maker's grace, Lord Jean Gaspard of Lades. Fragment of a Ben Hazareth information report. Jean Gaspard removed from play, Helena Monet will almost certainly be the next Duchess of Leeds. As the struggle intensifies, Carnelia has sent agents to cause a scandal, judging that Monet does not have the skill to avoid such snares. Monet has relied on Mother Renette, her mentor in the Chantry, for advice on how to strengthen her claim to the duchy. And the revered mother, in an attempt to protect Monet, has sent mercenaries to threaten Carnelia's life.
Let's see what we have.
3 hours. Gold all about it.
Let's see what we have.
Things gotta be there forever. Doot. More gold. Sister Liliana, my thanks for the timely information regarding the threat to young Monet. As I am sure you have heard, Lady Carnelia has been disgraced as a result of making such an undignified attack on a young lady, and has retired to the country in shame. The young Duchess herself is quite aware that she has you to thank for her position, and she has pledged the city of Leeds to the Inquisition's cause. Yours in gratitude, Mother Renetta. Right. What's it? Do. Incident, sitting now. Right.
Master Lavelin, do you have a moment?
Did you need something, Ambassador?
Yes. Well, not precisely, but I should like to know if anyone here has treated you unkindly, Herald, for being an elf.
I can deal with a few whispers and sideways looks.
I shall speak with the staff regarding such conduct. If we're to convince the world that Andrastis Herald is an elf, the Inquisition must give you its utmost support. Stories of wild Dalish elves have grown even more outrageous as people learn of you.
How have the rumors gotten worse?
I would prefer not to repeat them.
Give me something.
Stealing children, selling peasants to slavers, burning down villages, using infants for blood magic. Those are the stories about your fellow Dalish. I won't repeat what they've said about you.
The humans telling those tales are the first to take a knife to someone with pointed ears. My clan's defended ourselves against them more times than I can count.
Really? I had no idea. I will do what I can to end this slander, Herald. It may help if I know more about how you and your clan lived.
The best part was when the Aravel, our wagons, turned from the plains to the woods. I used to spend weeks exploring the forest.
You make it sound idyllic. Haven is so far away from home. You must miss the people of your clan.
All my friends are there. Before I came to the Conclave, the clan was my whole world. I'd like to see them after everything is done.
I hope you get the chance. Whether you're with them or not, being the clan of the Herald of Andraste will mark them in history.
Elves and fame tend to go poorly together. I hope my clan doesn't suffer for it.
We can make inquiries as to how they fare if it worries you. Perhaps the Inquisition could lend a hand.
A learned child is a blessing upon his parents and on...
I met an elven mage earlier. Solus, I believe he was called. I admit I was surprised. I didn't expect to find mages among the Inquisition. Tell me, why were you at the Divine Conclave?
The war benefits no one. It must end, and order must be restored.
If only the rebels saw things so clearly. Justinia's death has shattered the balance of power in Thedas. If it is not restored quickly, countless lives will be lost. Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
That's why you wanted to be here. To have a hand in deciding that fate.
Wouldn't you? For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
Nobody should claim to know the will of the Maker. Not me, and not the Chantry.
Perhaps nobody should. But if no one leads the way, many will be left behind in darkness. I've stolen enough of your time, my dear. Don't let me keep you.
I heard the Templars have withdrawn. Seems odd. I can see them breaking the Chantry.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood? To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing? You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
How is this a game?
Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust? Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
I speak for no one but myself, and I have no answers for you.
You probably don't even worship the Maker. Lucky. He asks a lot. The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
Maybe you should be angry at the people who murdered her?
If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come, to work then. We will speak later.
So, this is it, huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. Hear that? I meant the stronghold, but it sounded like... Well, it's funny, right? Anyway, stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
It's not just a war between those two.
Well, sure, the sky has a hole in it, but I can't put an arrow in that. Well, I have. Doesn't come down. That's weird. And that's the point, right? It's weird and right there, but they still want to punch each other. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
That's why we're here. To help guide everyone back from the brink.
The religious ones tell you that. That's important, right? But don't make it all about that. Seems like believing too hard is what got everyone here. And here is stupid and smells of horse. Really, what everyone needs is to get everything back to normal and proper and profitable. Sound good to you, all chosen Lord Herald?
I'm ready to give it a shot. That's all I can ask from anyone else.
I'm in. It's an investment, yeah? Better pay off, too. Stupid war and everything. I had things to do.
Another friggin' table mission. Go for a moment. Dr. Sowers earlier. I actually have more to say.
What can I do for you?
Can we talk about the Bull's Chargers?
Best company you'll find from here to the Anderfells. In my time with the Chief, we've gone up against everything from bandits to magic trees. We're expensive, but you'll never doubt we're worth it. Want to know anything in particular?
You said something about everything from bandits to magic trees. I'll admit to some curiosity.
Right. Sylvans. That's what Dalish called them. Apparently spirits can possess trees, too. Some noble in the Dales, and they really don't like it when you call them Dalish nobles, had a haunted forest. His family had abandoned the land, but he wanted it back. The chief bought us all axes, and in we went. Between the axes and the torches, the Sylvans weren't too bad. Worst part was the squirrels.
Do the Chargers specialize in anything from a tactical standpoint?
Bull doesn't want us large enough to work as an army. We're better as shock troops, as skirmishers. We've got archers for hitting enemy infantry, Dalish with more archery, and Skinner and her people on the flanks. Rocky handles fortifications and traps, and Stitches keeps us all fighting. They mostly hold back. I'll lead the frontline fighters with Grim, and the chief goes wherever he can hit something.
Are there rules for how mercenaries operate?
If you don't want some noble to treat you like bandits, yes. There's also a code of conduct most companies hold to. Keeps things civilized on the battlefield. We accept surrenders for ransom from mercenaries, nobles, and soldiers wearing a lord's colors. Our prisoners are treated well, injuries tended. We'd want the same for any of ours who got captured.
We'll talk later.
They've got good form. Cullen's putting his Templar training to good use.
Did Cullen tell you he was a Templar? He's not wearing the armor.
He didn't have to. Might not be a Templar shield, but it's a Templar holding it. He angles the shield just a bit down. Helps direct fire or acid away, so it doesn't spray right into your face. Canary learned the same thing when we trained to fight Tevinter mages. Your Templar's doing good work.
You sound like you want to head down there and give the troops some pointers.
Nah, I'm no good at command unless I know who my guys are sleeping with and what they like to drink. The Inquisition's already too large for that. The Chargers are big enough for me. Biggest problem for the Inquisition right now isn't on the front line. It's at the top. You've got no leader, no Inquisitor.
The Inquisition has done all right so far without an Inquisitor.
That's because all we've needed so far is damage control, reaction. A group can handle that. Once you've sealed the breach, it's gonna be time to make decisions. Someone's gonna have to step up. Who knows? Maybe you sealed the breach. The Chantry gets off its ass and all those soldiers go home and get fat.
You think?
It could happen. It won't, but it could.
Good day to you. Inquisition?
Behold the battle nug.
Feels good to be back at work, Inquisition. And lucky you have me. In lesser hands, you'd be in trouble. Haven can't support the mounts you need, but I can.
How are your charges? Well supplied?
Haven is groaning under the weight. It wasn't built for this, but we'll make it serve.
Farewell.
Make her be with you. Master Thrend.
Make her look at it. So much easier to ignore when it's far away. And to actually walk out of it. To be that close.
If I hadn't been saved by Inquisition soldiers, I don't know what would have happened.
Inquisition soldiers? That's not what I've heard. I have to admit, I thought you'd be...
human.
Yes.
Being up front is better than knife ear.
It was a foolish thought. Should have known better than to say anything. It's what you do and how you do it that's important. Just one question then. How do you think you fit in with all this?
I just want to help stop the war. Try to put things back in order.
A worthy goal, one I'm happy to support. For me, I'll be satisfied so long as we find the bastards that killed the Divine. They owe us some answers. I've heard rumors of abandoned warden camps all over these parts. If we have time, I'd like to take a look. See if there's anything we can salvage.
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. You must know a lot about them.
Wardens. I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
Let's continue this at another time.
As you wish. I'll be here if you need me.
These truths that
Leon
Maker has
Mile wasn't
revealed
rooting
to me,
to Stone
as
Ghost.
there is but one world, one life. There is but
Anything on the west? Oh.
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Block with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
We've received a number of recruits. Locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
That wasn't my idea.
I'd be concerned if it was. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage Uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir.
Cassandra sought a solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
I must have this mark for a reason. It will work, I'm sure of it.
Provided we can secure aid, but I'm confident we can. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new Divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
You understand our situation. I appreciate your opinion.
Look around. Our people are well organized and committed. Despite what the clerics think, we are in the best position to help. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Raiden has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying.
You're kind of a force of nature, aren't you?
When I need to be.
It's impressive.
You flatter me.
I'm trying.
Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here could destroy everything I have revered my whole life. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool. And they may be right.
What does your faith tell you?
I believe you are innocent. I believe more is going on here than we can see. And I believe no one else cares to do anything about it. They will stand in the fire and complain that it is hot. But is this the Maker's will? I can only guess.
What's going to happen now?
Now we find allies to help us close the breach, if that is even possible. And if there are consequences to be paid for what I have done, I pay them. I only pray the price is not too high.
That's Cameron.
You didn't have any choice.
Didn't I? My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act. I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
I was determined to have someone answer for what happened. Anyone. said you believe you're chosen. Does that mean you believe in the Maker?
I can't really say.
I suppose it doesn't matter now. I have to believe we were put on this path for a reason, even if you do not. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us.
My creator judged me whole.
Right. Any fucking freeze.
O creator, see me kneel, for I walk only where you would bid me.
I don't understand. I thought the chant of...
Red Jenny says drop and grab.
There's nothing to do with fairness. We simply can't accommodate them if they bring that many servants.
I will speak to the Duchess. She can be reasoned with, after a fashion.
I make no sense of this. The Herald found her, perhaps he can advise. Cullen. A note from Sarah follows. All your big hats, Lord whoever says you're rubbish. Your servants don't care, but could drop a few things for them. They'll give Josephine a surprise. I think scrolls or something. Sarah. Scribble of heraldic symbols and directions are below. Also Sarah's names 37 times.
Let us begin.
See the surprise. And it, okay. Do.
Let's see what we have.
Turn the name back on. Yeah. Manually. Now we're into the future. Papers we received from Sarah's friends document a Lord's sabotage of a rival's marriage. Quite the scandalous affair, very useful in implying our influence. I should just leave this off. I think I should, it would look so much better. Two more characters to pick up. Can I work backwards from here? Maybe if I could get the fucking travel point.
Dispatch for you.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
Good find.
Okay. No. It's the Leon and the western approach. Whereas I still need to get.
I think the Inquisition could benefit from this.
Right, there and there. Okay. Still have that damn door I can't get through yet. This freezing thing you're constantly doing, game. annoying.
Let's look around.
The unfortunate is if this is beyond that door. It's looking likely. Yep. That was a kick in the teeth, isn't it? Close the doors. Why would the door not be locked?
Excellent.
Let's look around.
Good find.
Okay. Where would it possibly be? Really? You mean it's not on this? I'm actually surprised.
I think the Inquisition could benefit from this.
Right.
would
to have
detect.
commerce restored.
Right. That's why.
Into Redcliffe. Templars really do themselves no favours.
I want a constant watch on that damned thing. Sound the alarm at the first sign of demons. Watch out, Castle. The veil's been opened.
None of my reports indicated temporal distortions near these rifts. Interesting.
There are many mages in Redcliffe. Maybe Fiona will know what's going on.
Make her have mercy. It's over. Open the gates.
We spread word the Inquisition was coming. But you should know that no one here was expecting us.
No one? Not even Grand Enchanter Fiona?
If she was, she hasn't told anyone. We've arranged use of the tavern for the negotiations.
Agents of the Inquisition, my apologies. Magister Alexius is in charge now, but hasn't yet arrived. He's expected shortly. You can speak with the former Grand Enchanter in the meantime.
Is it just me, or is something weird going on here?
Something's not right. We need to talk to the Grand Enchanter.
When there was no sky maker.
You bring into another outfit, hey. Of course you are.
Look at that old thing. I'm surprised it's still standing.
Redcliffe Windmill. These ruins mark the spot where a windmill once overlooked Redcliffe Village. It was destroyed in the last days of the Blight when Darkspawn attacked the area and was never repaired.
last night. No, there'll be no talk. It was so real. And when I woke up, the sheets were as cold as ice.
I don't need to use. I really hope I get an Inquisition level soon. And get that damn perk.
Could be better.
Have you heard? The Inquisition dealt with their own Templar wives. Been driven away.
It's just what I heard.
The Grey Warden Alistair grew up at Redcliffe. He used to play in the fields outside this very village. And now the boy, who once begged me to make him toy soldiers, rules all of Ferelden.
Tell me about your people.
They say a spirit dwells in a small lake south of the highway. The girls of the village bring it daisies and ask for love, but rarely does it listen. For 'tis a spirit of valor, not love, and it favors blood lotus flowers.
First time in all these years, I fear I will not be visiting your ashes. What world is this? That demons and brigands stop a man from taking flowers to his wife's shrine.
What if I took flowers to your wife's shrine for you?
I do not know what to say, except thank you. You were Dalish. My sinner and I, we kept to the old ways as we could. Though I know we are as children to you. Her shrine lies on a hill to the west, near the tablstones. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Walk in peace.
Spindleweed, spindleweed, spindleweed.
Merchants coming in now say there are countless bodies lying butchered on the side of the road. Not for the Inquisition, even worse.
I like it. Okay. And that's something I already read once.
you Connor?
You've heard the story, I guess. I can't believe King Alistair thought Redcliffe was the right place to send the mages. I mean, he grew up here. Did he think they would just forget what I did to them?
You were behind the siege of Redcliffe 10 years ago?
That's me. The boy with Redcliffe's blood on his hands.
Weren't you possessed? It wasn't you who did those things.
Wasn't it? I let the demon in. Sometimes when I dream, I remember what happened. I see the death and destruction, and it's me. It's all me.
Why isn't Arl Eamon in power anymore?
After the Landsmeet, he stayed in Denerim. I couldn't be his heir, not after what happened. So eventually he passed the title to Uncle Tegan.
How did you end up in the Mage Rebellion?
I was living in the Ferelden Tower when the circles dissolved. I voted against it, but at first it seemed all right. No one was summoning demons. They just wanted to oversee themselves. But then the Magister came, and it's wrong what they do in Tevinter. We are monsters. We need to be controlled. If it wasn't for me, every family in this village wouldn't be missing a son, a daughter, a spouse.
You're not in favor of the alliance with Tevinter?
Alliance? Is that what they're calling it? That Magister threw my uncle out into the street. He signed us into servitude. This is my home. Redcliffe, Ferelden. No matter what evils I've done, I would never have invited Tevinter here.
I need to be going.
Please, talk some sense into the Grand Enchanter. Selling out to the Imperium won't win us any friends. We have to find a way to make peace.
The Dwarven Merchants Guild. The Dwarven Merchant Guild is, without question, the most powerful service dwarf institution. It has become what the Assembly is to the people of Orzammar, a prestigious club that everyone wants to belong to, and the surest means to obtain power and fortune. The guild's leaders can always trace their lineage back to noble or merchant caste houses in Orzammar. The guild regulates trade between the Dwarven city and the surface, and so quietly controls the entire economy of Orzammar, though the ruling king of or assembly would never admit it. The guild is heavily conservative, but has started to get more of the ascendants, especially banking families, into its membership, which has caused no small amount of infighting in the guild.
You know, I do have to admire you for your poise.
Yes, I imagine you do.
And I look forward to the day when that veneer crumbles.
Rumors about the apostate attacking people were just rumors after all.
Either way, we're safe. That's all that matters right now.
Those were tranquil skulls?
I had wondered what became of those poor souls when the circles collapsed. Now we know.
I had hoped they were safe with the rebel mages. I see that I was mistaken.
I figured they'd fled with the rebel mages. Poor bastards.
Have you seen otherwise?
Good day.
Grandmother, I think we should go. Go. In the middle of the hall.
Good day.
Could be better.
people dying for want of simple herbs. My apologies. Can I help you?
Are you running short of healing herbs?
Yes. We've many injured from attacks by those cursed Templars. I need the herbs to treat people's wounds. It's too dangerous to go hunting through the hills to gather more. I've a list there of the herbs I need.
There are refugees at the crossroads who would benefit from a healer.
Of course they would. These attacks by the Templars have endangered countless innocent lives. But if I go to the crossroads to help, I might end up in danger myself. I doubt those refugees would risk their lives for a knife here. Why should I risk mine for them?
People are afraid right now. I haven't been called knife ear as often as I'd expected. Mostly all the humans say is thank you. I expect you'll find the same, and change some minds in the process.
All right. If the Inquisition soldiers are there, I might be safer regardless. I'll see you at the crossroads soon. Just give me a moment to gather my things. May I help you?
I found some of the herbs you were looking for.
With this, I'm certain I can save more lives.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much for your help.
That a repeating quest? It seems like a repeating quest.
Blessings upon the Inquisition.
I'll keep an eye out. Supplies, your worship?
Anything we can do, just ask.
Thank you. Thank you. Good day. Would you care to trade?
Ferelden cultures. The Fereldans are a puzzle. As the people, they are one bad day away from reverting to barbarism. They repelled invasions from Tevinter during the height of the Imperium with nothing but dogs and their own obstinate disposition. They are the coarse, willful, dirty, disorganized people who somehow gave rise to their prophet, ushered in an era of enlightenment and toppled the greatest empire in history. There are a few things you can assume safely in dealing with these people. First, they value loyalty above all things, beyond wealth, beyond power, beyond reason. Second, although they have nothing in their entire country which you are likely to think at all remarkable, they are extremely proud of their accomplishments. Third, if you consult their dogs, they are likely to declare war. And finally, the surest sign that you have underestimated the Fereldans, that you think you have come to understand them.
May it be with you.
I don't know.
Well, let me know if you find one.
At the sky, and those stories about all that magic in the conclave.
They're not but stories, dear. Rabbit does not flee its burrow when it hears the wolf prowling about. Now is the time to stay close to it.
They say on
make a speed use, my child.
I am Sister Tanner. May I help you?
I found the letter you sent to Templar named Corin.
What? Shit. You can't prove anything. A letter from a rogue Templar. Nobody is going to care. So, what do you intend to do?
What kind of cut are they giving you? Have you got protection? I see a suspicious lack of guards. It looks to me like you've been cut loose. Maybe you should look for a new employer.
Are you serious? The high and mighty Inquisition needs smugglers? All right, I'm in. Seems like the Inquisition is the safer bet these days.
Troubles of a Chantry scholar. As students of culture, it is important to always recognize your biases. I wear my Chantry perspective openly, for if my readers do not understand the lens through which I view the world, they cannot account for how these biases may color my writings. Gathering accurate information is challenging in a place as vast and fragmented as Thedas. One man may go on at length about lurid dealings with a king, and refuse to provide his name or some proof of the account. Other sources may conflict wildly. Fixing travel to some of the more remote areas of the continent is nothing compared to the difficulty I've had finding contacts I can trust. I cannot tell you how many times reputable people have tried to deceive me, sometimes for personal notoriety, more often in the interests of a pet cause. Trustworthy Canary, Danish, and Tevinter contacts are especially scarce, but I prize those I have kept friendly. Often it is I who must earn their trust. Texts, too, can be unreliable. From extensive readings, I have determined that Andraste was a Ferelden Orlesian who was born in every town from here to Augsburg. What little remains of elven history has been told and retold, shifted and skewed, until the tales are unrecognizable. I have particularly respect for the dwarves. There is no other people so obsessed with recording an accurate and complete history. Only the Shapers were as open as the skies they fear. If I can be honest, the long reign of the Chantry has made the recording of reality at times a trial. Most common historians have been histories have been rewritten through the filter of my religion. Everything has meaning as it pertains to the Maker. While this is unavoidable, it sometimes leads to conflicts between what is officially taught by the Chantry and what I have seen with my own eyes. While my belief in the Maker is absolute, only a fool would ignore the lessons to be learned from other societies and religions. Take the Fade. Was it the kingdom of the Maker, as common knowledge dictates, or the realm of the Tevinter old gods? Few people would contest its existence, but beyond that there is little agreement among scholars. Though there are many who would disagree with me, I've come to believe nothing is for certain. I've met too many people and encountered too many perspectives not to keep an open mind about these things. I brought an agenda TV. Circle the Magi. Once again, it didn't show.
Right. That's why.
Good day to you, my child.
Are you working for the Mage Rebellion?
Mages are children of the Maker, no less than the rest of us. They struggle no less with questions of faith.
Does that mean you support their freedom?
Given a choice between the Circle and death, most mages willingly gave up some small freedoms for safety. But the pendulum swings, and now it seems any restraint is too much. I think they should have a chance to prove they deserve freedom.
I don't see any other priests in the village. Where is everybody?
The Magister had the others escorted out for their own safety, but I refused. He can throw me out if he wants. Until then, I tend to my flock.
What are your feelings on the mages working with Tevinter?
The Imperium burned on Draste. Since then, we have led 4 exalted marches against them. Yet in all those marches, they still acknowledged the Maker. Now I speak of him and the Magisters laugh. Something has happened, and I dread to learn what.
I will leave you to your duties.
Make us speed you, my child.
Of course we call to Winter. Who else would help
Good
day.
You are in a report. Ballad of Nuggins. Oh, the best of us ran when the dreadnought was sighted. Nuggins, Nuggins, for he heard the call. Tripped 9 Canary, and that's why he's knighted. Nuggins, Nuggins, as brave as he's small. Oh, ashore for the pirates the worst said happened. Nuggins, Nuggins, his heart pure and true. Tripped him an admiral, now he's our captain. Nuggins, Nuggins, for me and for you. Oh, the blight was upon us and we found no pardon. Nuggins, Nuggins, he'll make us stand. Tripped up the Darkspawn and now he's a warden. Nuggins, Nuggins, for all in the land. Oh, paraded through Kirkwall as hero and winner. Nuggins, Nuggins, stubborn and vicious. Tripped up a Viscount, now he's for dinner. Nuggins, Nuggins, of course he's delicious.
Please, are you with the Inquisition? As you've wandered, have you by any chance seen a ram that is, different? Lord Wolseley wandered off, and he's very special. If you could find him, I'd be most grateful.
What makes your ram so special?
Well, he's always brought the family luck, and his advice helped us make our fortune.
Your ram offered advice?
He's a very special ram.
Your ram has gone missing?
Yes. I'm certain that if he heard his Jimmy missed him, he'd come right back. He's likely at our family's old summer cabin. It's by the lake in the southern hills. If you do find him and send him back, I'd be happy to pay you.
I'll speak with you later.
If you find my ram, please send him home.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. A ballad of Lord Wolsey and a spirit in the lake. Still don't have a philanderous. Ugh.
Lord Wolseley, I presume. A young man named Jimmy would very much like you to return home. Oh, good.
Shall we have a look around?
The Grey Warden Alistair grew up at Redcliffe. He used to play in the fields outside this very village. What do you mean?
I do not suppose you found my Senna's shrine. I know it is a long way to go.
I cleaned Senna's shrine and placed the flowers. May her ashes be gathered by Felon Dean and carried safely.
After all the long years she carried me, thank you. You do a foolish old man too much kindness. Masseranus, Dalen, take this with my gratitude. Senna would have wanted you to have it.
May it be with you.
Lord Wolseley came back! He says you convinced him. Here, for all your trouble.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna question it.
Good day.
Welcome, agents of the Inquisition. First Enchanter Vivienne?
My dear Fiona, it's been so long since we last spoke. You look dreadful. Are you sleeping well?
What has brought you to Redcliffe?
We're here because of your invitation back in Val Royeaux.
You must be mistaken. I haven't been to Val Royeaux since before the Conclave.
Well, that's very strange, because someone who looked exactly like you spoke to me in Val Royeaux.
Exactly like me? I suppose it could be magic at work, but why would anyone... Whoever or whatever brought you here? The situation has changed. The Free Mages have already pledged themselves to the service of the Tevinter Imperium.
Fiona, dear, your dementia is showing.
Andraste's ass. I'm trying to think of a single worse thing you could have done, and I've got nothing.
As one indentured to a Magister, I no longer have the authority to negotiate with you.
The Divine's corpse is barely cold, and you've already joined the Imperium?
Most of Cedas blames us for the Divine's death. The Templar attacks grew worse, and we mages had no allies. Either my people made a last stand here in Redcliffe, or we took the only offer of help extended to us. I had to save them. I had no other choice.
Welcome, my friends. I apologize for not greeting you earlier.
Agents of the Inquisition, allow me to introduce Magister Girion Alexius.
The Southern Mages are under my command. And you are the survivor, yes? The one from the Fade? Interesting.
I'd like to know more about this alliance between the rebel mages and the Imperium.
Certainly. What specifically do you wish to know?
The Grand Enchanter told me she was indentured to a Magister.
Our Southern brethren have no legal status in the Imperium. As they were not born citizens of Tevinter, they must work for a period of 10 years before gaining full rights. As their protector, I shall oversee their work for the Imperium.
I'm not clear on when exactly you negotiated this arrangement with Fiona.
When the Conclave was destroyed, these poor souls faced the brutality of the Templars, who rushed to attack them. It could only be through divine providence that I arrived when I did.
It was certainly very timely.
What does the Imperium gain from taking rebel mages under its wing?
For the moment, the Southern Mages are a considerable expense. After they are properly trained, they will join our Legion.
You said not all my people would be military. There are children, those not suited.
And one day I'm sure they will all be productive citizens of the Imperium when their debts are paid.
I haven't seen any sign of Redcliffe's Arl or his men.
The Arl of Redcliffe left the village.
Left? An Arl would never voluntarily leave his seat.
There were tensions growing. I did not want an incident.
I'm here to get mages to close the breach.
Right, to business. I understand, of course. Felix, would you send for a scribe, please? Pardon my manners. My son Felix, friends. I am not surprised you're here. Containing the breach is not a feat that many could even attempt. There is no telling how many mages would be needed for such an endeavor. Ambitious indeed.
Does that mean you'll lend your mages to our cause?
There will have to be. Felix.
My lord, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Are you all right?
I'm fine, Father.
Come, I'll get your powders. Please excuse me, friends. We will have to continue this another time. Fiona, I require your assistance back at the castle.
I don't mean to trouble everyone.
I shall send word to the Inquisition. We will conclude this business at a later date.
Come to the Chantry. You are in danger.
Ooh, very mysterious.
We'll be careful, but we need to figure out what's going on here.
Yes, sir.
We don't need your kind here. Your Inquisition's just Templars by another name.
Who are you?
Linnea. Just Linnea. Don't ask what Circle Tower I'm from, because we're done with that. We're all free mages now.
You'd rather bow to Tevinter than join the Inquisition?
All
You Chantry types think the same way. The Imperium is a great evil that must be avoided. It's just because they're ruled by mages. No one wants us to look at them and say their mages are free and the world hasn't ended.
But don't Magisters summon demons and practice human sacrifice?
The Chantry says whatever they think will scare us. What's wrong with blood magic? People don't like the idea of us controlling their thoughts, but they have no problem with us throwing fireballs in their wars. In Tevinter, the mages police themselves. It works.
Why does everyone think we're part of the Chantry? We left the Chantry. They hate us.
Right. And I'm the Empress of Orlais.
Magister Alexius does not approve of those without magic like you and me. You may not wish to stay long. Many villagers have already left to escape his ire.
What does the Magister have against you?
He does not like to be reminded of what mages can become. He says all Tranquil must leave Redcliffe, but who would take us in?
You're one of the Tranquil?
Yes, my talent for magic was insufficient to protect me from demons. Rather than risk me becoming possessed, the Circle removed my connection to the Fade. My magic is gone, along with my dreams and desires. Those now in Redcliffe prefer not to see us.
How long have Tevinters been here?
Magister Alexius arrived at nightfall, 2 days after we retreated from the Temple of Sacred Ashes. He forced anyone without magic out of the castle, save those he required to serve him. Even the Arl was sent away.
Farewell, then.
One moment. You are a member of the Inquisition, are you not? I am an alchemist. You must require potions. If the Magister will not have me here, perhaps I can offer my services.
We would be delighted to have you working for the Inquisition.
Thank you. While one lives, it is good to believe there is still a use for one's talents.
Crows and Green Marigold. The first crow refused to speak, even when we put hot coals to the soles of his feet, and peeled the skin off his face and hands with a paring knife. Blech. He opted instead to chew through his own tongue and choke to death on the blood. The second captive repeated what we already knew. Marigal went on a hunt and did not appear for the evening's festivities. The body was later found with 4 steel swords through the chest. I asked what he knew about one of the 4 swords being a replica of Harrison's Sword of Mercy. He had not heard about that, or at least claimed as much, and later died on the wreck, smiling slightly. The third crow must have realized he would not leave the dungeon alive. He seemed to hope that by angering Master Fiore, he would earn himself a quick death. The crow tried our patience with blithe comments while Master Fiore was trying to work. At one point he made a remark about Fiore's mother, which I shall not repeat here. I would admit to feeling admiration for his ability to retain a capacity for coherent speech, and even some wit while under extreme duress. Amid all his useless chatter, this third crow did raise an important point. His guild has a reputation to uphold. They are ruthless, efficient, and discreet. How would they maintain such notoriety if agents routinely revealed the names of employers with something as banal as torture? This gave me pause. I called for a halt to the session after some thought. I stabbed the man through the heart and set the 4th and 5th crows captives free. If there is a confession to be extracted, it will not be done with pain. I recommend we abandon this course of action.
Inquisition, huh? I wish to holy Andraste you'd gotten here sooner. These Tevinters make my shoulder blades itch.
Who are you?
Name's Tolwyn, formerly of the Circle of Magi in Hospital. Lived my whole life there. Since I was 10 years old and came into my magic. 3 meals a day, quality education, a roof over my head. If you're not summoning demons, a mage tower's a fine place to be.
If you were happy in the Circle, why are you here with the rebels?
We're all rebels now. The vote saw to that. The majority wanted to dissolve the circles. The rest of us went with them or were cut loose.
There are still some of us who are loyal in the Empress's court.
I figured I'm better off with my fellow mages than on my own.
You're not happy with this new alliance?
Something's not right about that lot. They're not like us. Magic or no, I'd rather count myself among decent folk than stand with magisters.
How did the Grand Enchanter end up working with Tevinter?
1 minute, we were bracing for the Templars to attack. The next, we had a Magister ally. It was a stroke of luck that's given us an edge. In a way. Out of the frying pan.
Goodbye.
Be careful. The Tevinters likely aren't happy you're asking questions.
The annulment at Darsamard. When we heard of the injustices against our fellow mages at the White Spire, the Circle of Magi in Valrio, I feared what was to come. Our circle at Darsamard is small and isolated. It exists largely as a facade to appease the Chantry. When the other circles rose up, the Chantry sent seekers across the bay from Islay to investigate. They found us mixing freely with our families, training female mages in the traditions of the seers, and denounced us as apostates. Perhaps they thought we were spineless rogues who could be intimidated with a little bloodshed. Before I was first enchanter, I was the daughter of Captain Revond of the Falicium Armada. I know how to plan a battle. They brought with them a small army of Templars. We fought. We might have won. They invoked the right of annulment. With all the unrelenting brutality that allowed, it is their right to put screaming apprentices to the sword, burn our tainted libraries, crush irreplaceable artifacts under their heels, tear down the very walls of our home. No mage has the right to disagree. We of the Disran Circle wait now, behind barricades. Sent word to our brothers and sister mages on the outside. When they break through, we will not die alone. Seers in the Allsmeet. 23rd of Vivertus. When I set out for the capital of Riverne, I did not anticipate arriving in the middle of a little provincialist festival. The streets are thick with fishermen and farmers coming in from the countryside for some gathering. Rural life apparently breeds fierce rivalries. I've seen more than one fistfight erupt in the square outside the inn. And do they call this music? Excellent wine? However, it must be Antivan. 24th of Viventus. The agreement is sealed. The merchant had more jewellery on his head than Orlesian women do on their fingers, but anyone willing to sell me silk at this price may dress how they please. Sabal, whose title is is an amiable sort who offered to show me all's meat tonight. Apparently the village leaders, hedge mages they dub seers, travel to Jersman twice a year to meet in council, forge trade agreements, and publicly pledge loyalty to Ravani's queen. Deals made at Allsmeet are seen as especially auspicious. Sabal warned me that sometimes hotheads will attempt to settle old feuds before these seers decree binding judgments here. But there are also feasts, lavish gift-giving ceremonies, musical contests, and other rustic nonsense. This explains the rabble. Still, it might be amusing to sample the local colour. I've just witnessed a loudly public exchange between two men trying to outdo each other with ridiculous boasts in the square. The most extravagant lyre was applauded and decorated with wreaths by the crowd. The Ravani are lively, I'll grant them that, and not at all afraid to drink with a Tevinter. Peasant oaf threatened me after I tripped into him at feast. Bit of fire cowed him. Impressed ladies too. What enlightened attitudes. These people have fantasies. Ugh. Lovely dances here. Must remember get vintage from Inkeep. Label was blue. 26th of Aventus. Find out who's sleeping on top of me. Bring more robes next year. Okay.
Just what I heard.
Good. You're finally here. Now help me close this, would you? Fascinating. How does that work exactly? You don't even know, do you? You just wiggle your fingers and boom. Rift closes.
Who are you?
Ah, getting ahead of myself again, I see. Dorian of House Parvus, most recently of Minrathous. How do you do?
Let one Tevinter in. Suddenly they're scurrying out of all the walls like roaches.
Now, I'm ever so much more handsome than a cockroach. Magister Alexius was once my mentor, so my assistance should be valuable, as I'm sure you can imagine.
I was expecting Felix to be here.
I'm sure he's on his way. He was to give you the note, then meet us here after ditching his father.
Alexius couldn't jump to Felix's side fast enough when he pretended to be faint. Is something wrong with him?
He's had some lingering illness for months. Felix is an only child, and Alexius is being a mother hen, most likely.
Are you a Magister?
All right, let's say this once. I'm a mage from Tevinter, but not a member of the Magisterium. I know Southerners use the terms interchangeably, but that only makes you sound like barbarians.
You're betraying your mentor because...
Alexius was my mentor. Meaning he's not any longer, not for some time. Look, you must know there's danger. That should be obvious even without the note. Let's start with Alexius claiming the allegiance of the mage rebels out from under you. As if by magic, yes? Which is exactly right. To reach Redcliffe, before the Inquisition, Alexius distorted time itself.
I hope that's less dangerous than it sounds.
More.
Manipulating time itself? Many have attempted over the ages, but never once succeeded.
The rift you closed here.
You saw how it twisted time around itself, sped some things up and slowed others down. Soon, there will be more like it, and they'll appear further and further away from Redcliffe. The magic Alexius is using is wildly unstable, and it's unraveling the world.
I'd like more proof than magical time control. Go with it.
I know what I'm talking about. I helped develop this magic. When I was still his apprentice, it was pure theory. Alexius could never get it to work. What I don't understand is why he's doing it, ripping time to shreds just to gain a few hundred lackeys.
He didn't do it for them.
Took you long enough. Is he getting suspicious?
No, but I shouldn't have played the illness card. I thought he'd be fussing over me all day. My father's joined a cult, Tevinter Supremacists. They call themselves Venatori. And I can tell you one thing. Whatever he's done for them, he's done it to get to you.
Alexius is your father. Why are you working against him?
For the same reason Dorian works against him. I love my father, and I love my country. But this? Cults? Time magic? What he's doing now is madness. For his own sake, you have to stop him.
It would also be nice if he didn't rip a hole in time. There's already a hole in the sky.
Why would he rearrange time and indenture the Mage Rebellion just to get to me?
They're obsessed with you, but I don't know why. Perhaps because you survived the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
You can close the rifts. Maybe there's a connection. Or they see you as a threat.
If the Venatori are behind those rifts or the breach in the sky, they're even worse than I thought.
Do you have any suggestions?
You know you're his target. Expecting the trap is the first step in turning it to your advantage. I can't stay in Redcliffe. Alexius doesn't know I'm here, and I want to keep it that way for now. But whenever you're ready to deal with him, I want to be there. I'll be in touch. Oh, and Felix, try not to get yourself killed.
There are worse things than dying, Dorian.
God, I've been doing 3 hour streams. Every single bone in my body wants to stop right now.
Does Tevinter really need cults? Aren't they weird enough?
Can we trust Dorian and Felix? I'm not sure who to believe here.
Good day.
You're from the Inquisition. I didn't think you'd still be here. Were you really looking to ally with us?
Is that so hard to believe?
Everyone blames us. The Templars left the Chantry too. That's worse, isn't it? They took an oath. Yet everyone calls it the Mage Rebellion. We're the ones they hate. What choice did we have? Stay and be slaves?
There are better ways than war to affect change.
I hope you can do something. Tying ourselves to Tevinter. That can't be the right way to end this.
Take care of yourself. There's something strange going on.
I never thought the Grand Enchanter would swear to a Magister.
May you be with
Okay. Do-do-do-do-do. Pause. I do not like the way it keeps doing that. Like it at all.
Go in peace, Harold of Andrade.
Yeah, that is. Let me check something out. Eh.
The Chantry isn't supporting us.
All men are the work of our Maker's hands. From the lowest slaves to
I will
the
take
highest
these injury reports.
Sudden
Search him in nave.
jolting pauses as I'm playing is slightly concerning, though. I doubt it means anything, but
Then the voice of the Maker rang out. The first word.
I may as well end here for now. Shy of 4 hours. And we'll pick up from here tomorrow.